Jaden Newman became a basketball sensation at a young age, starting varsity in 3rd grade and quickly shattering records. However, despite her immense talent, Jaden's path to the league was derailed, with off-court issues, including the exposure of private moments and controversial social media leaks. These distractions ultimately hindered her professional basketball aspirations. Let's have a look at the real reasons why Jaden Newman is not in the WNBA. Jaden Newman's basketball journey began in a way most young athletes could only dream of. At just 8 years old, she joined the varsity basketball team at Downey Christian School in Orlando, Florida, making headlines as one of the youngest players ever to compete at that level. While other children her age were mastering multiplication tables, Jaden was outscoring high school players, showcasing skills that were far beyond her years. Her dominance on the court was apparent from the start. In her first season, Jaden quickly established herself as a key player for her team, wowing spectators with her scoring ability and basketball IQ. By the time she reached 4th grade, she had already surpassed 1,000 career points, a milestone few players achieved even in high school. Her scoring only improved as she got older, averaging an astonishing 45 points per game by 8th grade. These weren't just numbers, they were statements of her raw talent and potential. Jaden's rise wasn't confined to the basketball court. Her skills and performances attracted national attention, propelling her into the spotlight as a viral sensation. Videos of her dazzling crossovers, no-look passes, and three-pointers spread like wildfire on social media, earning her a dedicated fan base. The young phenom became a household name, representing the next generation of basketball stars. One of her most iconic moments came in a Foot Locker commercial when she was just 10 years old. Jaden went head-to-head with NBA superstar Stephen Curry in a three-point shooting contest, holding her own against one of the greatest shooters in basketball history. This commercial not only showcased her talent, but also cemented her status as a prodigy to watch. Fans marveled at her confidence and composure in sharing the screen with Curry. The media couldn't get enough of her. Jaden made appearances on major platforms, including the Queen Latifah Show and Fox Sports, further solidifying her status as a rising star. Her success also brought attention to her family, with her father and brother playing integral roles in her journey. Jaden Newman's rise to basketball stardom was not just a product of natural talent, but also the result of her family's influence, particularly her father, Jamie Newman. A former high school basketball player turned coach, Jamie had a clear vision of transforming his children, Jaden and Julian, into basketball prodigies. From the time they could dribble a basketball, Jamie focused on intense training and exposing them to competitive environment. Under his guidance, Jaden developed the skills and confidence that set her apart on the court. Jamie's commitment to his children's success extended beyond coaching. He actively promoted Jaden and Julian, turning their achievements into viral sensations.
As soon as I win, I'm on my
Alright, bet, so it's not even nothing to talk about.
Highlight reels of their games flooded social media, captivating audiences and earning widespread recognition. For Jamie, this exposure wasn't just about fame. It was a strategic move to create opportunities for his children, aiming to position them as the next big stars in basketball. In 2019, Jamie took things a step further by founding Prodigy Prep, a basketball-focused school designed to showcase the talent of his children. The school combined academics with rigorous basketball training, placing Jaden and Julian at the center of its program. Prodigy Prep became a unique platform for the siblings, drawing attention from recruiters and media alike. For Jaden, it was both an opportunity to refine her skills and a stage to prove herself as a top-tier player. However, this level of exposure came with its challenges. From a young age, Jaden was under constant pressure to perform, with her every move scrutinized by fans and critics. The intense spotlight shaped her identity, making her more than just a basketball player. She became a brand. While this attention fueled her confidence, it also created unrealistic expectations about her future. As Jaden's fame grew, so did the expectations that she would transition seamlessly to college basketball and eventually the WNBA. Critics questioned whether the heavy emphasis on promotion and high school statistics truly prepared her for the demands of higher levels of play. Some argued that Prodigy Prep, while beneficial in showcasing her talent, prioritized exposure over well-rounded development. Standing at just 5'2", Jaden Newman's height has been both a defining trait and a significant hurdle in her basketball career. While her incredible skill set set and sharp basketball IQ allowed her to dominate in high school. Her stature presented challenges as she transitioned to higher levels of competition. In a sport where size often dictates success, Jaden's smaller frame became a glaring disadvantage against taller, more athletic opponents. In high school, Jaden's height wasn't as much of an issue. Her quickness, sharp shooting, and ability to create plays helped her consistently outperform her peers. However, as she faced players with greater size and athleticism in college-level games, her physical limitations began to hinder her ability to impact the court as she once did. Her height made it difficult to guard taller players, especially in positions where height and wingspan are crucial for defense. Defensive challenges became a recurring issue. Against taller and more physical players, Jaden struggled to contest shots effectively or defend players in the post. In college, where nearly every player was a former high school star, her lack of size and strength became more pronounced. Opponents exploited her height disadvantage, forcing her into mismatches that highlighted her inability to compete physically in certain scenarios. While Jaden's effort and positioning were commendable, the physical disparity was often too significant to overcome. On the offensive side, Jaden's smaller frame limited her ability to drive into the paint, critical skill for guards at the collegiate and professional levels. In high school, her quickness allowed her to get past defenders, but against taller, more agile athletes, she struggled to finish at the rim. The lack of physicality also made it difficult for her to absorb contact and maintain control, an essential aspect of high-level basketball. This forced her to rely heavily on her perimeter shooting, making her game more predictable. While many undersized players have found success in basketball, they often compensate with elite athleticism, defensive tenacity, or exceptional playmaking. Jaden's height and physical limitations, combined with the higher competition level, required an adaptation in her playing style that didn't come quickly enough to keep her competitive at the collegiate or professional level. Jaden Newman's high school basketball career was filled with eye-popping statistics and viral moments. However, years of dominating weaker competition left her unprepared for the significant leap to higher levels of play. While her performances at Downey Christian School showcased her scoring prowess, critics have argued that her over-reliance on offensive output masked gaps in her overall game, particularly when it came to adapting to the more demanding style of college basketball. In high school, Jaden's scoring ability was her defining feature. She regularly put up 30, 40, and even 70 points in a game, earning widespread praise and setting records. But much of this success came against teams that lacked the athleticism, defensive structure, and depth of talent present at elite levels. Critics pointed out that Jaden's competition didn't push her to develop a well-rounded game, particularly in areas like defense and team-oriented play. As Jaden transitioned to college basketball, the gap between her statistical dominance in high school and the skills required at the next level became apparent. In high school, Jaden was the focal point of her team's offense, often taking upwards of 50 shots per game. This allowed her to play a high-volume scoring role, but left little room for her to practice adapting to different styles of play. At the collegiate level, where teamwork, adaptability, and defensive contributions are critical, Jaden struggled to adjust. Critiques of Jaden's playing style emerged as she faced tougher competition. Her reliance on three-point shooting and scoring-heavy performances made her game predictable. College teams, with their advanced scouting and disciplined defenses, quickly identified ways to neutralize her impact. Additionally, Jaden's defense, which was often overshadowed by her offensive highlights in high school, became a glaring weakness in college. Her lack of size and physicality, combined with limited defensive development, made it difficult for her to keep up with quicker and more athletic opponents. Another challenge was her inability to adapt to new roles. In high school, Jaden was a star, the centerpiece of her team's offense. In college, she was one of many talented players, and her opportunities to dominate games were limited. Adjusting to being a role player rather than the go-to scorer proved difficult, highlighting the importance of versatility and team dynamics at higher levels. Jaden Newman's transition from a high school sensation to a college basketball player was marked by a significant shift in her career trajectory. Instead of joining a Division I powerhouse, as many had expected, she committed to Cal State LA, a Division II school. This decision surprised fans and critics alike, signaling that her path to professional basketball might not be as straightforward as once believed. At Cal State LA, Jaden faced challenges that were vastly different from her high school experience. In high school, she had been the star, regularly putting up incredible numbers and dominating games. However, at the collegiate level, she was no longer the focal point of her team's offense. With a roster full of talented players, playing time was more evenly distributed contributed, and Jaden found herself struggling to secure consistent minutes on the court. This limited her ability to contribute significantly to the team's success, a stark contrast to her high school days. Scoring opportunities were also fewer and far between. While Jaden had been accustomed to taking 50 or more shots per game in high school, college basketball required a more team-oriented approach. Coaches prioritized ball movement, balanced scoring, and defensive responsibilities, areas where Jaden's high school experience had not fully prepared her. Adjusting to this new playing style proved to be a challenge, as she was no longer the dominant offensive force she had been in her younger years. The drop in prominence during her college career marked a turning point for Jaden. While she had once dreamed of making it to the WNBA or even becoming the first woman to play in the NBA, the reality of her situation began to set in. Her struggles to adapt to the physical and strategic demands of college basketball, combined with the limitations of her 5'2" frame, made it increasingly unlikely that she would transition to a professional career. Jaden Newman's basketball career has always been intertwined with the public eye, but the launch of the family's reality show Hello Newmans marked a turning point in her journey. Created by Overtime, the series provided a behind-the-scenes look at the Newman family's intense basketball training routines, family dynamics, and the challenges of balancing fame and athletic aspirations. While the show offered an opportunity to expand the family's brand and connect with fans, it also brought criticism, with many questioning whether it prioritized entertainment over athletic development. Hello Newmans painted Jaden as a young basketball star striving for greatness, but the show's dramatic portrayal of family disagreements, off-court activities, and highly curated moments drew attention away from her actual performance on the court. Critics argued that the focus on creating engaging content overshadowed the importance of honing her skills. The show emphasized viral moments and personality-driven storytelling, leaving some to wonder whether Jaden's athletic potential was being fully realized, or if her development was taking a back seat to maintain the family's fame. The transition from an athlete to a media personality came with trade-offs. As Hello Newmans gained popularity, Jaden's image became more about her role in the show than her achievements in basketball. While her talent was undeniable, the narrative surrounding her shifted, and many began to see her as a product of media hype rather than a player destined for the professional level. This perception made it difficult for Jaden to escape the expectations set by her family's brand and the pressures of constant public scrutiny. As the series progressed, critics pointed out that Jaden's focus seemed to shift from athletic improvement to maintaining her status as a social media and reality TV star. Instead of focusing solely on advancing her skills to prepare for the challenges of collegiate and professional basketball, Jaden found herself juggling the responsibilities of being a public figure. While this brought financial opportunities and a loyal fan base, it also detracted from the time and energy needed to elevate her game. Jaden Newman's journey from viral basketball prodigy to collegiate player showed immense promise, but her path to the WNBA was ultimately derailed by a combination of factors, with one key event standing out: the controversy surrounding her Twitter leak.
Their basketball court, and they showed me like all of their cameras.
While Jaden's talent was undeniable, she became a household name after dominating in high school basketball and starring in viral commercials. The attention she received had its downside. Jaden's Twitter account, once a place for her fans to connect with her, was hacked in a leak that exposed compromising private messages and personal photos. This caused an immediate uproar, not only damaging her public image, but also undermining her brand. For a young athlete trying to build a career, the impact of this scandal was significant. It created a media frenzy that shifted the focus away from her athletic achievements to her personal life, a distraction that most athletes struggle to recover from, especially when attempting to transition to professional competition. Beyond the Twitter leaks, Jaden also faced the pressures of early fame, which made it difficult to focus solely on her basketball development. From a young age, she was thrust into the spotlight with her family's reality show, Hello Newmans, documenting her rise. While this helped her build a massive social media following, it also took away from the discipline and focus required to reach the highest levels of competition. Her early exposure to fame brought with it unrealistic expectations and an overemphasis on personal branding, sometimes at the expense of of her athletic growth. Moreover, her physical limitations, standing at 5'2", put her at a disadvantage in a sport where height and strength are often crucial. Although Jaden had a stellar offensive game in high school, she struggled to adapt to the more physical and team-oriented play required at higher levels. Her reliance on volume scoring, without the complementary skills of defense and playmaking, made it harder for her to stand out in the collegiate or professional arenas. But perhaps the most crucial factor was the distraction caused by the Twitter leak. The controversy overshadowed her potential, becoming a barrier that her talent alone couldn't overcome. While Jaden's basketball journey remains impressive, it's clear that the public's fascination with her personal life and the fallout from the leak kept her from reaching the WNBA. At just 20 years old, Jaden Newman's story is still unfolding. While her professional basketball aspirations have faced challenges, she remains active in college basketball, adapting to a more team-oriented role. Outside the court, Jaden has built a strong social media presence, connecting with fans and sharing her journey. With a growing following on platforms like Instagram and TikTok, she has opportunities to explore new paths, such as fitness coaching or youth basketball training. Jaden's influence and experience position her well for future success, whether in sports or beyond. Jaden Newman's journey underlines the challenges of turning early talent into long-term success. Physical limitations, a skill table, and the pressures of early fame kept her from reaching the WNBA, but her story is still being written. At just 20, Jaden has countless opportunities to redefine her legacy and inspire others. Will she rise above these challenges and leave her mark beyond the court? Share your thoughts on what the future holds for this basketball prodigy in the comments below, and make sure to watch our next video shown on screen.